Well, hello everyone. Here we're in St. Mary's and getting ready to board the ferry. I did get tickets to the ferry over to Cumberland Island. It'd be about probably a 4-hour stay over there, I think. 3 or 4 hour stay. Do a little hiking, sightseeing, whatever. But anyway, I'm going to make it to the island one way or the other. So I thought I would, I'm in a little park here along the seashore in St. Mary's. And so I'm going to turn you around, and we got some beautiful Christmas trees out here. So let me, hope I didn't mess you up there too much. Got some nice Christmas trees. It's a really beautiful park. Fountain there, looking out over the seashore there. And we'll just kind of walk through the Christmas trees. I have to be over to the ferry at 11:30 to board. So got to take a few minutes. They don't have restaurants or anything over there. It's pretty primitive. So I'll fix me up a ham and cheese sandwich to take with me. Put some cold water in there to kind of keep it cool. I'll be able to have my lunch. I'm probably gonna get rained on. And that's life. You know, got a hat on, got a jacket on. So if it get rained on, it get rained on. We'll deal with that whenever we have to deal with that. So I'm just gonna catch these Christmas trees as we go by. Each different companies put out their Christmas trees, much like we do in Huntsville. So I think one of the prettier ones is right over here, right there in the middle. That's right pretty, and so is this one. I like the blue and silver on it. Got a little gazebo here. So that one's right attractive. Well, we're going to kind of walk out past the seashore. Check this one out. That's pretty neat right there. Different, definitely different. We're going to walk out to the seashore here. Across the way, I think, is where we're going. It's Cumberland Island. It's a national reserve. So I believe that's what we're going to take the ferry to. And since that's the visitor center right there, I'm guessing that's the ferry sitting right out front. So we're just going to kind of walk out here and let you look around. People looking at me like I'm crazy, so I'm just walking along talking. And I am kind of crazy. Those of you that know me know that. Sometimes I'm a total loon. But as we look across, we see the barrier islands out there. And like I say, I think that's probably the ferry. Well, there's no point in standing in the rain. I'm gonna get wet over there anyway, but might as well limit it as much as possible. I did not bring a raincoat. That's life. Been wet before. Get the camper back over to the campground this evening. I was thinking about trying to do the walk this evening here, but I think I'll get back too late. But it's an online start bus. I could go ahead and register and walk while I walk of it. You know, the weather's not too bad. The lady says it's going to get cold here tonight. It's been cold the last couple of nights, so I don't know that there's anything new about that. Unless it's going to be colder tonight than it has been. I hadn't looked at the temperatures, so we got. I just got today here, so if I see enough to make it interesting, that I'm willing to come back in the summer or springtime, I'll do that and do more around St. Mary's and the general area. dinner over here when I come back from the island, because it'll be pretty late to fix dinner. So I may just go ahead and eat here before I start back to Cumberland. There's a St. Mary's Submarine Museum. I believe that would be interesting to go into. That looks like it's probably the Cumberland Island ferry there. Maybe that may be a private tour. Lady, yeah, that's a private group tour type boat.
You need help? Absolutely.
We'll take a kind of a quick shot down the main drag over here. Seafood restaurant. That, you know, I'm just not a seafood person. Just don't work for me. Like, pretty Christmas tree there. That's the yard arm. Yep, I believe that's what they call that. Not sure. Not a sailor. Cumberland Queen. So you can kind of get a gist of what St. Mary's is like. I just wish we had been able to see more of it back in 2010 when we came over and then had to crash. Beverly would have really enjoyed this little town. So anyway, I'm gonna shut this thing down for now. We'll get lined up to get to orientation and get on the boat, and then we'll see what we see once we get over there. Bye, y'all. We're on the boat, and we're off and riding. I'd say running, but that wouldn't be appropriate for a boat. We're off and riding, and heading over to Cumberland Island. I think about a 40-minute ride over there, and then we'll be there for about 4 hours. Got a couple of things I want to see. The Dungeness ruins, for sure. A lot of wild horses down there. Also some other wildlife, turkeys. I believe they said they were certain wild boar and other wildlife. We're looking at St. Mary's boat now. Maybe I'll have that sightsee a little bit there at St. Mary's tonight. Have dinner there. Old boat harbor there. And so once I get over there, I'll get some more video. There's no point in wasting battery. Just riding across here. We'll capture a little bit more here in a few minutes when we get closer. Come closer to the docks. Alright, we're now on the island, and just I can follow this trail. I believe it goes down to Dungeons Ruins. Kind of going to be my first stop. Beautiful trail here. There are lots of wild horses out here, and of course we got one grazing right out here. I don't know if that's a wild one or one of the local people's horses. Check out the old oaks and the hanging moss. Gosh, this is gorgeous. This is really gorgeous. It's worth that cold ride on the boat already. Wow, that was cold. Should have had good enough sense to sit inside, but I wanted to get some little camera work outside. It was probably pretty dumb. I think on the way back, the inside seats are going to be premium, because we leave here at 4:45, I believe, and it is now let me see, it's now 12:30. So I'm gonna go down to the Dungeons Ruins. I brought my sandwich with me. I'll find a place to sit down and have a sandwich and a bottle of water, and I got some good old cookies with me that sister-in-law made me for this trip, so I'll be nibbling on those as well. Just check out those oaks. Wow, aren't they pretty? This is amazing. All right, I know I won't have enough battery to just record everything up here, so what I'm going to do is get some shots here, get some shots there, and then get some further down. So for now, bye y'all. Get a little video of it and see if I can find out more about it. Definitely need to get me a battery pack to carry with me, and I could record this whole trip. Alright, this is the ruins of the called the Dungeness. It was a mansion built in the mid-1880s by Thomas and Lucy Carnegie. Ruins are but one of numerous visual reminders of the Carnegie era in Cumberland Island. But the Carnegie Dungeness represents only one layer of the area's rich history. 1783 Revolutionary War history. Nathaniel Green obtained half of Cumberland Island and began cutting and selling live oaks. That's what we're seeing along the way, is these live oaks. He died in 1776, and his widow and second husband moved to Cumberland around 1800, built a 4-story, 68-foot tall tabby mansion that they called Dungeness, which stood in the same location as this Dungeness. The Green Miller Dungeness burned in 1866 and stood in ruins for 15 years, acting as a tourist attraction and inspiring tentative plan for a hotel. In 1881, however, Thomas Carnegie purchased the property, tore down the Green Miller Dungeness ruins, and built his own house in its place. The Carnegie Dungeness had 37,000 square feet and is estimated to have cost $200,000 to build. Abandoned in 1924, it burned in 1959, rumored to have been set on fire by poachers. All right, a little history of what we're seeing there. So that was built by Thomas Carnegie. I can imagine this must have been quite some place at the time. So I'm gonna get over here and play this audio.
So cool. That is quite a difference in the farm. Do you want to climb on those slanted things? Yeah. Let's do this one. Oh yeah. There's no sign. It doesn't say that we can't. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill it now. I'm gonna try to zoom in on my phone here and show you what this looked like in its heyday. That's what it was when Thomas Carnegie had it, and that's what it is today. Quite a significant difference. But can you imagine what that place must have been like? Amazing.
This Tabby house
I'll try to
is
catch
the
it.
oldest standing structure
Catch the
on
audio
Cumberland
coming off
Island,
the
being built
tour.
around 1800 by the Green Millers for use as a gardener's cottage. Tabby is a combination of island resources: sand, water, oyster shell, and lime. While the origin of Tabby is unknown, it was a common building material during the 19th century. Although this is the only building still standing from the Green Miller era, the landscape that surrounds you bears many similarities to its early 19th century counterpart. Separated from high society only by geography, both Catherine Green Miller and Lucy Carnegie entertained extensively at their Dungeness estates. The carefully manicured landscape provided areas for strolling, games, and exercise. Exotic palms, gray olive trees, magnolias, acacia, orange, and china trees found in Katie's gardens were reclaimed by Lucy, providing guests in each time frame a beautiful respite from the harsh lines of city landscapes. To the west of the Tabby house, the pergola and the replica of the statue of Mercury, the Roman god of commerce and financial gain, are two relics of the Carnegie Gardens at Dungeness.
All right, these are some of the small gardens from 1896 to 1916 that would have been used here. I'm not sure what this statue represents. I think this was the one they were talking about, the Greek goddess, and I forget what they said her name was. But anyway, looks like they do have something planted in there, and had some little raised bed gardens, look like. Of course, there's another view of the pergola from here, and we're going to traipse across now behind the mansion and go over to stop number 6, which is I believe what we're seeing across the way as a brick ruins. Set of brick ruins. It was probably, it said it was the I think they said it was a recreation building. We'll see when we get there. I'm gonna capture the back of the mansion as we go across. Can you just imagine what high society probably was here at the time, to own basically an island. See what this sign over here says. It's just a little bit about the history. There's the original that Catherine Green and her plantation manager owned. Then below that is the Carnegie Dungeness. Much prettier. There was it burned, looks like. And I'll let y'all read that. I'll hold on it long enough that you can pause it and read it. Okay, we'll move on. Looks like a fountain of some sort out here in the middle of the backyard. I guess this would have been the backyard. I had my phone synced to, my phone synced to my hearing aids, and so I wasn't able to capture the audio on camera, and it's starting to rain a little bit, and I don't like to have my hearing aids out in the rain. Wow, that must have been a beautiful fountain once upon a time. And you can see what their backyard offered. One has to pay close attention walking out here. A lot of horse driving out here. I done stepped in one pile without paying attention. So that must have been some amazing place. Okay, you know, years ago, gee, back in the 70s, I guess, maybe early 80s, Beverly, my wife, and I traveled to Jekyll Island, and Jekyll was quite interesting, as it was the home of quite a few millionaires and billionaires. Some beautiful old homes over there. Really, really amazing. All right, this is the recreation ruins. I'll try to get it up that way. Hopefully y'all can see that. And so down there you had a separate apartment, a pool, squash course, court rather, billiard room, a gun room, had their own doctor's office. Pretty amazing. So I'm going to try to find a go ahead and log into the app here and listen to the audio tour for this stop.
Although early 20th century island residents and guests enjoyed a variety of outdoor recreational activities, indoor recreation was available as well. Standing in ruins before you is the recreation building. Built around 1900, what remains of this building provides a glimpse into the recreational opportunities available to the Carnegie family and their guests. This Queen Anne structure held a doctor's office, billiard room, gun room, dressing rooms, gymnasium, heated pool, and on the southeast side, an apartment for Lucy Carnegie's bachelor son, Frank. Guests traveled to the ocean for health benefits, so many island activities were outdoors: hunting, shelling, tennis, croquet, shrimping, fishing, and swimming.
I guess that was the pool. And over here was the apartment for her son. Pretty nice quarters right there. What do you think, huh? All right, let's see if we can find stop number 7. I'll pause you now. All right, we're stop number 7.
Living a life of such luxury required a large staff. As you walk east of Dungeness and the recreation building, you enter the service area of the estate, where many of the Carnegie's 100-plus servants lived and worked. This house, called the Grange, was built in 1901 as a residence for William Page, tutor for the Carnegie sons, and later estate manager. As manager, Mr. Page oversaw the day-to-day running of operations for the entire island. He was responsible to order supplies, hire and pay employees, and oversee the building of some of the other structures on the island. Page died in 1922, after which Carnegie's daughter, Florence, used the Grange as her residence until her passing in 1962. Florence's death dissolved the trust Lucy Carnegie had created in her will, which kept island property intact until all children agreed to sell or until the last child passed away. Purchase of property by developers pushed family members to consider their options to protect the island from development. Plum Orchard and 12 acres surrounding it were donated by the Johnston families to the National Park Foundation, who then conveyed it to the National Park Service. Other properties were sold to the NPS for the formation of Cumberland Island National Seashore. In exchange for the Plum Orchard property, these families were given the Grange under a 40-year retained rights agreement. During this time, this house was considered private property. This agreement ended in 2010, and the property is now public land.
All right, we'll move on to stop 8.
This area, referred to as the village, provided support for life on the island. Employees lived and worked in this area without being seen by the more elite residents and their guests. Work schedules were typically 5 days work with 2 days off. While working, employees were housed in the dormitories to the north of this location. Housing was segregated, black employees living separately from white employees. Pay was 50 cents to $1 per day, depending on whether the person was considered unskilled or skilled labor. Job descriptions ranged widely, including positions as household servants at Dungeness or another of the Carnegie's mansions, as stable hands at the carriage house, the large white structure to the south of where you're standing, tending the cattle and poultry, working in the laundry, bakery, ice house, or electrical plant, as well as landscaping and gardening. Many black employees owned land and homes on the north end of the island, living on the south end only during the work week.
All right, got that down, so we're gonna walk down through the village, what they would refer to as the village, I guess. See what we see. Take a look at some placards, some houses. I suspect a lot of these have been rebuilt. Got an interesting chart there of different mosses and ferns, etc., that live in the trees and these live oaks. These things are just absolutely amazing. I think the only more amazing tree that I've seen, of course, there's one in Thomasville, by the way, that I think it covers a whole square block, and it's been cabled together all kind of ways. But just look at these things. Isn't this just absolutely amazing? Like I say, probably the only more amazing to me was seeing the banyan tree in Lahaina in Hawaii, on the island of Maui. That thing was absolutely amazing. The way they grow into the ground. But you see here, the limbs come down to the ground, and I guess they take root and spring up another set of limbs, another set of trees. It's just amazing. Stoney, if you watch this, I think you will probably really enjoy this part of these trees. Stoney, that's my brother. He's a horticulturist, and a dadgum good one too, I guarantee you. All right, well, you can see the housing structures that they would have had back in the day. So what we're going to do now is we're going to walk back over where we started this 9 or 8, I guess it's, yeah, audio tour stop 8, and where the stables, etc. are. And then we're going to follow that road on down to the beach and see if maybe I can find a space there to just sit down, rest a minute, take all this in, and have a sandwich I brought with me. I got me a ham and cheese sandwich, some cookies, and some bottled water. So it might be a good time to plan on lunch at the beach. What do y'all think? I think it's a good idea. Hope y'all do. This is just an amazing place. I'm just sorry that we didn't get here on the first 2 tries. But they always say, 3rd time's charm, huh? Let's see what number 9 is. It's I guess it's further down the road. Okay. We'll continue our walk and go down towards the beach until we find number 9, and we'll see what it has to say. I really like this audio tour that National Parks put together. They're free tours. Just download the NPS app, and then where they have this opportunity at all the national parks, you can see them. That's the old ice house / powerhouse, what would have been there. I guess they use that now as pretty much a maintenance area, looks like. And we see the stables down here straight ahead of us. And I guess the last stop on the audio tour, not auto tour, is the cemetery. And I believe this road leads onto the beach. Got about 4 hours just to fiddle around here and take all this in. And it's not near enough time to see the whole place, because I'm not going to get up to the I think they call it Plum Orchard home that Lucy Carnegie, they say, Carnegie we always called it, is built for her son as a wedding present. And it's actually 7 miles up the road, and there's not enough time for me to walk 7 miles, tour it, and walk 7 miles back. And now we're entering the cemetery, so I don't see where the audio stop tour thing is, so we'll just walk on down here a minute till we see it. I mean, we can play it from anywhere. We like to be there when we play it. See what they're talking about. See there? Gotta watch those bombs. They'll get you. This is the old dairy barn where they would have had their dairy cattle and probably did the milking, I'm guessing. We'll just go ahead and play 9. Come on. My phone is, that's where it don't recognize my fingers very well.
This is the resting place of Catherine Green Miller, her daughter Louisa, and Louisa's husband, James Shaw. It is believed that Catherine's second husband, Phineas Miller, was buried here, but if so, he is buried in an unmarked grave. Henry Lighthorse Harry Lee was originally buried in this cemetery when he died while visiting Dungeness. As he was traveling north to Virginia, he stopped here to rest and regain his health to be able to continue home. After several weeks under the care of Louisa and James, he passed away. A large funeral was held to honor this Revolutionary War hero as he was laid to rest. His remains were removed in 1913 to be reinterred at Lexington with his son Robert E. Lee and the rest of the Lee family. The 2 graves on the east side of this cemetery belong to Catherine Ricart and her husband John, both servants for the Carnegie family. Catherine worked as a housekeeper at Dungeness, but also looked after the young Irish maids working in the house. Because they were unrelated to the Green Millers, they were buried outside the walls.
Okay. We should have, I guess, got down here first. So what I'm going to do is get down to that site where they're talking about things, where you can see what they're talking about, and then we'll play it again. Play it again, Sam. So I'm guessing the cemetery's down this way. I did not realize, I saw the sign, but I didn't realize that it had an arrow there. So now I'm following the arrow. It's terrible to get old. Okay, now we're here. Okay, yeah, Green Miller Cemetery. I'm gonna just kind of get the gist of that. I was trying to get my screen to come back up. There it is. Let y'all kind of take that in, and then give you time to read that, and then we'll play the audio tour again. Okay, so people buried here was Catherine Green Shaw, Catherine Green Miller, Martha Green Nightingale, Charles Jackson, Henry Lee was buried here, and I guess he was the father of Robert E. Lee, Catherine Reichart, and Bernard M. Davis on the outside over there. Okay, we'll play this thing again and let y'all just gaze at it while we do.
This is the resting place of Catherine Green Miller, her daughter Louisa, and Louisa's husband, James Shaw. It is believed that Catherine's second husband, Phineas Miller, was buried here, but if so, he is buried in an unmarked grave. Henry Lighthorse Harry Lee was originally buried in this cemetery when he died while visiting Dungeness. As he was traveling north to Virginia, he stopped here to rest and regain his health to be able to continue home. After several weeks under the care of Louisa and James, he passed away. A large funeral was held to honor this Revolutionary War hero as he was laid to rest. His remains were removed in 1913 to be reinterred at Lexington with with his son Robert E. Lee and the rest of the Lee family. The two graves on the east side of this cemetery belong to Catherine Ricart and her husband John, both servants for the Carnegie family. Catherine worked as a housekeeper at Dungeness, but also looked after the young Irish maids working in the house. Because they were unrelated to the Green Millers, they were buried outside the walls.
Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop the video now and until I get down to the beach, and we'll see what it looks like down there. It says there's a salt marsh this way. Well, let's go see what a salt marsh looks like. What do y'all think? Y'all interested? Here's a sign about it. Looks like it's where the maybe the salt washes up and gets trapped. I don't know. Let's walk on down there. See what we see. Trying to hold the camera steady as possible, but I know I'm bouncing a lot. I apologize for that. Walking in the sand is not real easy. Trying to catch some wildlife back in here, kind of away from the beaten path. Might see some wildlife. Might see some we don't want to see, but maybe we'll see them, they won't see us. Oh, we got a boardwalk down here. Okay. Yeah, this was worth a walk now. There's a little trail comes down through here. Looks like a lot of horses been on it. I don't know that you can make much out of that, and he's cleaning up, doesn't it? Yeah, it is what it is. You call it living mud. I guess it's full of creatures of various sorts. So I guess what we're looking at there is the salt marsh out through there. A pretty neat looking area. We'll just walk around the boardwalk, see where we come out. That's all right with y'all. I will find an old gator out here. A number of years ago, as I was telling you in a previous video, Beverly and I went to Jacksonville for some walks, and then we went up to the Okefenokee Swamp area and walked a boardwalk like this out through the swamp, and I mean, we saw lots of critters, alligators, etc. You can see where something's been working the bank there. Right down through there. So we saw lots of alligators, snakes. Saw some of those. Saw a couple of owls on the trails, and just a lot of different critters, and it was really neat. And they had an old homestead set up there where you could see what a homestead looked like in that area. And one of the neat things they had is they sweep the yard. Now, the yard is just sand and such as that. And they sweep the yard. And I thought, well, that's kind kind of sounds odd. Why would you sweep your yard? Well, the purpose for that was by keeping the yard swept, you could see snake tracks coming across it. So you could see if you had a snake issue. Pretty interesting. That's around the Okie. If you haven't been there, I recommend a trip there. It's certainly worth the time and effort to get there. Lord has really blessed me and my wife with opportunities to travel this great country of ours, as well as a few international countries, but primarily our great country. And he blessed us with the desire to start with. Oh, now we're out in the beach area. I'm gonna get my shoes full of sand. But he blessed us with a desire to travel and see the country and see the world. And then he provided the means for us to be able to do that. So while we only had 52 full years together, almost 53, we made the most of those years, and I thank the Lord for that, and what he instilled in us to see our great country and other places. So thank you, Lord. I appreciate that. Look at the driftwood. Isn't that neat? Wow. It's hard walking right here.
Is that a boardwalk?
Yeah, it's a boardwalk. Yeah.
Boardwalk.
Yeah.
And then are you going back to the beach and then go loop off to the camp?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I hope I have enough time, right?
Yeah. I think so. See what time it is. Oh, it's only 1:45. He was worried about time. I think we got plenty of time. Won't have to be back till 4 o'clock. Catch the ranger tour, guided tour. So maybe we can find a place out here, sit down and eat us a sandwich. Whew. This reminds me of back in my running days, and I was temporarily assigned to the Cape doing some testing, and at the time I was training, and I thought it'd be a great idea just go out on the beach and run the beach for training, build up my calves. Wow. It not only built up my calves, it tore them apart. That was quite an excitement. Quite a eye-opener to train on the beach sand. But I think I ran my best time after I got home from there that I ever ran. Okay, let's see what we got up here. We may shut the camera down for a few minutes. Another boardwalk. Like doing the boardwalks. Let's see where it offers us, and then we'll shut the camera down for a little bit. Oh, walking got a lot easier then. Well, I'm seeing a bench right here, and it seemed to me like an awful fine opportunity to sit down here for a few minutes, rest up, and have my sandwich. So I'm going to have lunch, and I'll be back. Bye, y'all. And well, had my lunch, and we're continuing along another boardwalk. This one seems to have more palms and such as that in here than the previous one. Like something been digging in the sand down there. I don't know if this goes out to the beach or not, but maybe it does. Maybe it's do a boardwalk around the beach, along the beach. That'd be neat. Still looking for some wildlife. You know, all the time up in Alaska, wildlife tried to elude me. I did catch a few things, but not too many. A few bears, but there's mostly alongside of the road. Hiking, I didn't see hardly any critters, and some might say that's a plus. Looks like some sand dunes washed up here. See where the trail goes. What do you say? By the way, you notice I chose to wear my Denali hat today. I thought it kind of appropriate since I'm in one of the parks on the one of the southernmost, I guess, parks on the East Coast. Short of down to Key West and that little park down there, and having the Denali hat on from one of the parks on the northern western corner of the United States. I thought that's kind of apropos. So I know when I boarded the boat, the guy commented on my hat and said, "Oh, Alaska." I said, "Yeah, that's a great trip." He said, "You're going to enjoy this one too." And so far, it has not only met expectation, but exceeded expectations. I think it'd be neat to come over here and actually camp for a few days and do some serious hiking. I wish I was in shape for that, but I'm not. And I'm not good at putting up tents and living in a tent. I prefer mine to have walls and cooking facilities, things of that nature. But anyway, hey, I'm gonna spin y'all around, let you look at the sand dunes, and we're obviously close to the beach. So, pretty. Oh yeah. Now we can see the ocean. So I was on one ocean, Skagway, and near the ocean there was actually an inlet, and now on the Atlantic, on the southeastern area of the United States. Pretty neat. Ooh. Sand getting deep. Oh, you gotta capture these ripples right there. That's Isn't that pretty? The way the wind is, and the water has made little troughs and along the sand there. I don't know where I'm pointing the camera. I'm just trying to stay vertical right now. Okay, we have made it to the Atlantic. The lady at the orientation was telling us that be cautious of the rip currents. And as you can see, they're listed there. She said they were really running high right now. That if you got in the water, be very careful with rip currents. Well, at 50 degrees and cloudy and lots of wind, I'm not sure why anybody would want to get in the water, but each his own, you know. Everybody got their own thing they want to do. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the roar of the water coming in on the beach. This is phenomenal. I hope the wind is not too strong to overcome the other sounds. But I've been to the Pacific, and I've been more time at the Atlantic, and I really prefer the Atlantic. Not sure why I'm going to do. There's some more pretty patterns in the sand. Almost like somebody was just sitting down there and drawing it. Maybe God's finger. Maybe he decided he'd draw a picture. I don't know. Not very smart, but I do believe that he certainly does influence things. Okay, I'm going to turn around and put my back to the wind here in a minute. I'm not sure if I should go back in the trail or if there's a road that actually comes down here to the beach. But I don't particularly see a road up there. And I think we'll turn around and follow the trail back and back down the boardwalk. But I'm gonna get out here on the hardpack sand just a little bit. We used to love to sit and watch the little birds. Here's one right here, little sandpipers. See if we can catch a little action there as they run from pick up what's left behind by the waves, and they run away from them. Let's see what I'm getting here. Can't tell. What with GoPro is that it's hard to make much out of the screen until you put it up on a big screen. It's so small. But I hope I'm getting it. He's just a darting around. I didn't want to watch food. Run from the waves. They're smart. They don't get caught out there in that water. Surfers out there might enjoy that. interesting. Alright, I'm going to turn around now and go back and get my back to the wind and cut down a little bit on the noise. Here comes our little sandpiper again. He's gorging himself. Little rascal can move. Pretty, very pretty. So we're going to work our way back now into the compound and then back across to camp and see what we see over on that side. Get one more shot of the little sandpiper. I hope I'm getting it. If I don't, well, I apologize. I'll clip it out when I edit it. If I don't get him. There he is. He'll be right there. Okay. Well, I'll shut the video down for a while. Get my hands in my pocket, warm my hands up. And I'll see y'all when we get back on the other side. Bye, y'all. I wanted to catch just another shot of these. It's almost like driftwood. They seem to be growing. Dead trees. And they almost look like a piece of paper. Cardboard cutout. Sitting up on the hillside there. A little different view from when we came back from the other direction. You know, it's always interesting when you're hiking or driving even. The views and how they change from one side or going one direction versus the other. So I just wanted to capture those. Just pretty amazing. Like I say, it looks like a cardboard cutout, like two-dimensional instead of three. Okay, we're fixing to hit the boardwalk and walk back up on the boardwalk. So I'll shut her back off a little bit. I don't know if you can see them over in the distance or not, but two great big white birds up in the tree. And I don't know if I can zoom this thing in or not. I don't see any way to do it. And so one just flew in and landed here on the ground on the marsh. Neat how they contrast, and here comes two more. See if they're going to try to take their perch over. They're going high. Pretty. Check out this old oak. How he grows out towards the water. Look at the base on that thing. That is just phenomenal. I'm really too close to do it justice. Growing right out of the bank. Pretty neat. Here's another one over to the other side. Well, it ain't much for wildlife, but I did capture something here on film. A doggone armadillo. Of all things to be able to catch on film is a doggone armadillo. So anyway, did catch some wildlife. Hey. Alright, we're on what they call a river trail now. It runs alongside the river on the inside passage of the island versus the beach we were on earlier. So I came down the trail a little piece just to get a little view of what the river trail was. And I'm going to try to record it as I go back. Not going to be a lot of narration because I don't have any. But other than my comments, and just wanted to record this as I go down through here. It's a beautiful trail. Make a great Volksmarch. And so we're going to follow this trail back. I think there's a ranger talk tour at 4 o'clock, and it's somewhat after 3 now. So I'd like to be back for that. I believe it's here. I may be up at the sea camp. I don't know if it's up at the sea camp. I guess I'll miss it because I don't know if I'm gonna walk up to the sea camp or not. So we'll see what we find when we get down here to the pier and see if it's see if they talk about it. Sure hoping to see more wildlife. I'm a little disappointed in how much wildlife I see, but gosh, just look at that. I mean, is that not majestic? That is phenomenal. Love these old oaks with the moss hanging in them. It's a beautiful world, isn't it? It's a beautiful world. I don't know what I'd do if I was to see a wild hog down in here. Ooh, make you jump, wouldn't it? I hope I've got image stabilization on. Not this is going to be bouncing all over the place because my ankles are sore, and that walking in sand doesn't do them any good. And then so we'll get what we get. I'm down to about 25% on my battery, so I'm pretty sure it's going to run out before I get done filming, or recording, I should say. You know, we say we're filming, but we don't use film anymore. So I guess recording is a better word. Maybe digitaling. Definitely been some horses through here. Look at the driftwood right out there. I guess that would be a river beach. Big old tree uprooted but still green. Still sucking some juice out through these roots right here. That piece of driftwood right there kind of looks like a llama sitting there looking out at the river. I find some interesting stuff down there. They said you could take home any empty shells or shark's teeth you could find. And I don't know that I want to go down and dig around for them. But this is the riverside. Not sure what river it is, but it's the riverside. Oceanside and riverside. Sound like resorts, don't it? Anything down in there maybe? Now, tell you, wildlife's smart enough to stay under cover with this wind and cool weather. But thankful that we hadn't seen any more rain than we have. Had a little bit of rain, but not enough to worry about. Our mama would say not enough to shake a stick at. I don't know what that meant. But that was one of her favorite phrases. Yeah, we're back out of the trail now, back at the dock. This is the, I guess, Dungeness dock. This is where, I guess, the boat picks us up. I hope. There's two docks. There's one that's called Sea Camp, and this one. And so they dropped people off here that are just here for the day and walking around, and then the folks that are bicycling, bicycle trails and camping go to the Sea Camp dock, and that's where they get off. All right, I'm gonna stop filming now and just get a wide shot here of the riverside as we look back across towards mainland, and St. Mary's is way down yonder. Yeah, I believe it's way down yonder. We kind of did a zigzag thing coming through the marshes, coming up here. So it's on the other side of that little outcropping right yonder. Somewhere over there is a submarine base. I would like to, be wonderful to see a submarine come flying in here. Or, not flying in here. When submarines don't fly. Be wonderful to see some submarine coming through. All right, this may end it for the National Seashore or Cumberland Island tour. I might record a little bit to close everything out this evening when we get back to the campground, or when we get back over to St. Mary's. So, well, for now, bye y'all. Well, I lied. As I was walking down through here, I saw this beautiful white horse down here. Well, I don't know it's all that beautiful, but just white horse. One of the wild horses out here. And so I thought I'd at least get a picture of a horse. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm recording you. Hi there, guy. So they're free to roam over here however they see fit. Here's another one up here on the other side of this. I guess it's a cistern or something. And so we'll just walk on up there. The lady that told me that Dungeness was where you see the most of them, but they seem to be hanging out right here today. So got a nice white one there, and sort of a multicolored guy here, white and brown. Neat. Just wild as they can be. Okay, bye y'all. Well, I'm going to try to close out the evening or the video here in St. Mary's with another trip through the park with all the Christmas trees, and they're all now lit up. So not going to see a whole lot, but we'll see what we see. So here we go. Just going to kind of walk through here. They got all the Christmas trees lit, and really pretty. we'll go ahead and finish out the battery doing this. So if the battery goes dead, and that'll just be the end of the video. So just know today was a wonderful day. Enjoyed walking around Cumberland Island. And I have to say, for the first time in a long time, when somebody asked me, says, "How you doing?" And I said, "Good." And in the past, it's always been fair. So I can say that today is a big turnaround day for me. A really big turnaround day. To say that the answer to somebody's question is, "How are you?" And I said, "Good." So it might not mean much to some of you. To a few of you, that'll mean a lot. So just want to let y'all know that. We're going to walk through the rest of these. I was going to have dinner down here, but I didn't see anything that really excited me. And so I just decided that I'll just go back to the camper. I got leftovers from yesterday. Have my leftovers tonight, so I don't have to haul them home. And then I've got to see if I can get some video uploaded. I still haven't been able to get my video from Christmas Day, a Christmas greeting video uploaded. That's a really pretty tree right there. I like that one. Purple kind of gets right on you, doesn't it? So anyway, this is from the park in St. Mary's, along by the river, the St. Mary's River, and sure had a good day. So we'll just leave it at that and say bye, y'all.